Here is the Avast Security News Roundup for the week ending October 16th, 2020. U.S. Cyber Command issues a warning. U.S. Cyber Command warns Microsoft customers to immediately patch their systems against the critical and remotely exploitable vulnerability addressed during this month, Patch Tuesday. Most updates address security issues. Not all are critical. This one is. Update now, and if you haven't already done so, it's always a good idea to keep your operating system and your programs and apps up to date. Barnes & Noble hit by a cyber attack. Since October 10th, users have been complaining on the Nook's Facebook page and Twitter that they could no longer access their library of purchased ebooks and magazine subscriptions. When attempting to do so online or in their Nook, the library was coming up blank and could not log into bn.com. In an email sent to customers late Wednesday night and seen by Beeping Computer, Barnes & Noble has disclosed that they suffered a cyber attack on October 10th, 2020. Barnes & Noble stated, "It is with greatest regret we inform you that we were made aware on October 10th, 2020 that Barnes & Noble had been the victim of a cybersecurity attack, which resulted in unauthorized and unlawful access to certain Barnes & Noble corporate systems. We write now out of the greatest caution to let you know this may have exposed some of the information we hold of your personal details. If you have a BNN account, change your sign-in information now." Ransomware groups pay for network access. Cybersecurity researchers focusing on ransomware attacks have discovered that many ransomware groups are now purchasing network access through third parties in order to accelerate and simplify their attack procedures. InfoSecurity reported that the researchers claim to be tracking more than 25 persistent network access sellers, with more materializing on a weekly basis. Network access sellers and ransomware gangs exchange goods and services on the dark web. The researchers noted that one vendor is advertising access to 36 companies for between $2,000 and $20,000. Hackers gain access to U.S. election support systems. The U.S. Cyber Security and Infrastructure Security Agency issued an alert last week in conjunction with the FBI that advanced persistent threat actors were actively exploiting multiple VPN and Windows vulnerabilities in a tactic known as vulnerability chaining. CISA called attention to the activity because typically these kinds of attacks are used to target federal, state, and local government networks. CISA is warning of some instances where this activity results in unauthorized access to election support systems. However, CISA has no evidence to date that integrity of elections data has been compromised. CISA notes that the report is not comprehensive as the analysis is ongoing. School laptop shortage starts the digital divide. Ever since schools all over the planet began implementing distance learning in March, there has been a surge in worldwide demand for low-cost laptops and Chromebooks. The demand is up 41% from last year, and unfortunately, manufacturers have not been able to keep pace with the requests. The result is a widening gap between the haves and have-nots. While the Los Angeles Unified School District spent $100 million on an order of Chromebooks in March and received it in full, other districts that waited until summer to put in their order were faced with months of delays. Alabama schools are still waiting for more than 160,000 devices, and Mississippi is just now beginning to receive the 320,000 computers they had requested. The New York Times reported that North American schools are likely to end the year with a shortage of more than 5 million devices, creating a digital divide that could result in entire classes of students falling behind their peers at other schools. Secret photo function found on kids' smartwatch. The X4 smartwatch, which sells for about $200 and runs on Android, is designed exclusively for children, but researchers have discovered that a backdoor exists that could make it possible for someone to remotely capture snapshots, wiretap calls, and track locations in real time. Explora, the Norway-based company that makes the X4, responded to the discovery by stating that the found code belonged to a photo feature initially planned to be triggered by the child's guardian should the child ever send out an SOS signal, but which ultimately did not make it to the final design. The researcher found some of the code was not completely eliminated from the firmware, Explora stated. Read more of this story at Ars Technica. And that's all the security news for this week. Stay safe. See you next week. Bye-bye.